The sign of where it goes wrong is when the world outside the self is no longer the companion but the servant. Trying to understand the relationship between a particular group of people and what they identify as sacred land is a way of understanding a much larger problem, and that is the answer to this question: what is our moral relationship, or to put it another way, what is our ethical relationship to the world outside ourselves? We know that all over the world, traditional people go to extraordinary lengths to maintain the conversation that they carry on as a culture with the place that empowers them, from which they draw a sense of composure, of spiritual and psychological composure. They go to great lengths to protect that conversation. To my way of thinking, to destroy sacred lands is to murder a people, because the relationships that are there, who am I? Where did I come from? Am I going to be all right? What is going to happen to my meaning, the meaning of my people in the world? To protect that, you have to protect sacred places. We don't have sacred places in the same way that traditional people have sacred places, where ritualized, formal conversation that's distinguished by a speaker and a listener and a listener and a speaker that may go on for days. We don't have that. We gave up in Euro-American culture. We gave up, I think, and then began to disparage and destroy the places that our ancestors held sacred, because they were a reminder about how to behave that we did not see as productive. We saw that we could gain advantage if we destroyed the places that fed a certain kind of conduct in us. So I can understand why some people in Euro-American cultures want to destroy the sacred lands of other people, to disembowel them and get them out of the way of our ideas of progress. A murderous notion. People are starving for intimacy. That they've created a culture in which the possibilities for intimacy are cut off in every direction. And the longing to be intimate with the world, with another person, is a palpable hunger. When you go a long way down a bad road and you realize that you've made a turn somewhere back there that's not going to end well, you either have to turn around and go back down that road, or ask a local resident if there is a parallel road and some kind of shortcut to get you on a different path. And that's what we're doing now, I think. We're going to traditional people and saying, we've noticed that a difference between your culture, which at a distance we admire, and our own culture, which is troubling to us, is that you have maintained a set of relationships with your places that we haven't. So could you talk to us about that? And maybe then we could see a way out of our predicament. I threw something away, and I am so full of grief and loneliness. Could you show me these few dance steps, and then I'll remember, and I'll go home, and I will go in the memory of my own people, and I'll discover the thing. But could you give me a hint? Could you give me a reminder? And then say, thank you, and do whatever you can after that to make sure that those people with no weapons, no backbreaking economy to intimidate others, to make sure that they're taken care of. So what you're trying to do as an individual is stop the conversation with yourself and begin the conversation with the world. And what traditional people are telling us is The conversation with yourself is a dead end. The only conversation to have is the conversation with the world. And it begins by saying, who are you? And waiting for an answer.